Georgia. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Atlanta Falcons. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9?
And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25.
Hey! Hey, kill! Hey, kill!
Now Herbert to start the drive.
He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down.
Well, Charles, you think about this defense. This week in preparation, you couldn't hide the fact from them that they're facing a team that's lost 7 in a row. You just wonder if they prepared the same way they normally do.
Yeah, that's a great question because normally that preparation goes into what you do well on defense. What is the best thing that you do going into a game? But in this case, you might want to take all the tendencies and throw them out the window. I would expect them to throw every trick play in the book right out of the gate in order to try and get something established and get things moving.
On 2nd and 9, Brissett.
He completes that to Garrett Wilson.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
2nd and 4. On 2nd down, a run with Herbert.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 7 yards there and a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Slot man moves right.
On 1st and 10, it's Herbert.
And he is going to lose yardage here.
Stopped and handed a loss by Willie Gay that time.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Play action now. Brissett. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And that's a heck of a moment for your first sack of the game because if this long drive ends without a touchdown because of that sack, we're going to look back and say that might be one of the biggest plays of this contest.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. Micah Parsons in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Another nice one. They're on a punt now on 4th down.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback.
They'll start on the ground. Hall.
And he's got some space here. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A big hitter there. First down gain of 26 yards.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. They didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run.
On first down, right back to Hall. It's a pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44.
It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
On first and 10, it's Hall.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
The Falcons at 500 now, 4-4 on the year. They come in losers of 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
They'll try to throw now. Winston. He'll let this go for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller.
And the Chargers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Rayshon Jenkins picks it off.
That's such a costly interception, nearly a pick 6, but now they're so close they are knocking on the door for a touchdown.
And I never want to get on any team for being aggressive because that's part of what their makeup is, and oftentimes it's successful. But in this case, you've got to be selective about it and make sure you take care of the football. That interception almost cost them 6 points. Now their defense has to run onto the field, probably giving the quarterback a few side eyes along the way. They've got to see if they can stop a score.
They'll run with Hall.
And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line.
One more time with Hall.
And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta.
Breece Hall with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Falcons take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. Braxton Berrios selected to bring it out. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Buying time to his left.
Wilson's got it complete. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. First down, Brissett. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. But he continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. These sacks, they're starting to pile up.
If they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
As we've seen, their first 2 drives didn't yield anything points-wise. It certainly feels like they think to themselves, it's time to open this thing up, taking the big shot downfield.
They go play action with Brissett. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by R2SB. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Now Youngway coup for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. They, of course, coming into this one in the midst of a tough losing streak. They did get helped out by the open week last week, and in talking with him, all indications were, Charles, that was a very helpful break.
Yeah, I know a lot of teams, coaches, they hate taking time off in the midst of a losing streak because they think they have to stay on their toes and punch their way out of it. But occasionally, you get that open week, you step back, evaluate what's been going wrong, see what you can put in that can move you forward, and maybe you get a chance to breathe a little bit and kind of start over.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Hey, kill.
Herbert once more. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Second and 5 now. Brissett. The catch made by James O'Shaughnessy, the tight end. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
A handoff for Herbert. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. Give them 12 yards there, and the Chargers have a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
In motion comes the tight end left. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. Brissett on first down. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
minutes to play here in quarter number 2. On 2nd and 10, Brissett. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, there's an incompletion, partner, and the struggles through the air continue because so far their lack of passing production has led to a lack of points.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. To throw, Brissett. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. On a nice one on a punt as he sends this one away.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive.
4-4, their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. Other weeks where we wondered just how good is this team. They want to be consistent in their play, not consistently inconsistent, which is what they've been thus far.
On 2nd and 9, Winston being chased out left. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
So roughing the passer there, a big mistake defensively.
Yeah, and even though you've got a quarterback out of the pocket and the rules change downfield, that doesn't mean the same rules don't apply with the QB. Anything more than one step, they're going to throw a flag on you every time.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Falcons! Chase Claypool, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Falcons are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
A very quick pass to Ridley. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. Here's a give to Herbert.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. set on 3rd and 2. Got a man. It's Berrios complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Brissett's throw here going to be... And a loose football. And the Falcons grab it. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we've known coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Jameis to throw it. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And the Chargers are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
So first thing that crossed my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
Hey, kill.
In motion left is Wilson. On play action, Brissett. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. K'Lavon Chaisson, the former first-rounder, in there to get the sack. Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began, thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. They'll throw now on the final play. That's to his running back, complete. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. The second half starts with a carry by Jones. And pretty good pursuit there defensively. He's brought down, no gain on the play. Second down coming up. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Winston now. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
An incomplete pass on second down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, here's Hall. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. Now on 4th down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Here's Logan Cook now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. Here's Berrios. A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. Brissett to throw on first. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Juan Thornhill. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Well, I mean, you get it. They're trying to make something happen here in this 3rd quarter, CD, but I don't think a pick 6 is exactly what they had in mind.
No, not at all, because this offense, they've been stuck all game long. Haven't dented the scoreboard yet, and they're kind of forced to take a few chances here, and that one, it backfired in a big way.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that makes the score 28-0. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Starting on the ground with Herbert. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Brissett. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Well, whatever adjustments they're trying to make over on that sideline, Charles, this defense, they just seem to be a step in front of them and not giving them a chance to implement any of those changes. And here, a pick 6, and they widen the lead.
At least a step ahead, maybe even 2 steps. And right now, they are thinking hard about putting this opponent away. That turnover, it grew their lead and just totally deflated that offense. Now these next couple of series, you can take them out of the game entirely if you continue on this pace.
The Charger drive about to get going. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
On 3rd down, Brissett. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
It certainly appears that he's been able to get a read on how they've wanted to contain him in this game. He's seen some places where he can beat them in big spots, and right there, he slides in with ease for the first down.
They'll set up the screen to Herbert. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. To throw again on second down. Brissett, and he completes it to Berrios. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
This is Wilson on the jet sweep.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
It's 3rd and long for Brissett. Had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. On is the Chargers punter now, as he's on to kick it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Pulled in at the 24. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5, and the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line.
And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Ball again on 2nd down. So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
On play action, Winston. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Winston. He's going to take another shot here. And this is caught at the 20. Touchdown, Falcons!
Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years, and the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And that is absolutely demoralizing for a defense because you've got the offense on the ropes. It's 3rd down. You're trying to get off the field, and then wham! You have a letdown in the secondary, and you give up a big one.
And that throw, amazingly, well over 70 yards in the air, according to Next Gen Stats. Wow. Coup now for the point after.
And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Charger drive about to get going.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And
my goodness, another interception. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles. It's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. The Charger drive about to get going. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much...
And now here's another interception. Picked off by Byron Murphy.
And the Falcons will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line.
What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It give it and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions. And Jameis intercepted a third time. Shaquille Griffin with a pick.
And the Chargers are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. Well, with the size of lead that this offense has, I don't think that interception is really going to affect them much. But at least for this defense, something small to hang their hat on.
Yeah, and let's face it, they're not even scoreboard watching anymore, right? They're just trying their best to make a play, get themselves off the field, which they just did, and salvage a little bit of pride in this one. Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
Brissett sets to throw it. And that is incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
It'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return.
And it will be Falcon football.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive.
This offense returning out there, and really, you remember the last drive, Charles, it was over before it even began. They threw the interception on the very first play.
And what that means is for all these guys, it's been a while since they've been out there going full speed, so they've got to get everyone back out there, run a couple of your go-to plays, make sure you get your offense oiled up a little bit. They've got to be able to start fast, but they've got to be efficient as well.
Especially the quarterback.
On second down, a run with Hall. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down.
On third down, Winston. He's going to go for a big play downfield. It's caught inside the 25.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Here's Winston. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Pick made by Terrell Bernard. And the Chargers are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7.
Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. Has a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. A gain of right around 35 yards on a play that started back inside their 10. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first from Falcon territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Hey, kill.
Now Herbert. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, here's Brissett. And my goodness, another interception. And the Falcons will take over possession here up at the 44. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And guys, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the stick, 2nd and 15. Now Winston. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And I'm starting to wonder, Charles, if 5 interceptions, is that the last that we've seen of him?
Well, I think that a lot of people hope that's the last they've seen of him in this game, probably including himself. If this were baseball, the manager would have been at the mound already and asked for the ball, and he'd be in there getting a shower. But in football, you might have to go stand on the sideline and watch the rest of it and see if your backup can do any better.
The Charger drive about to get going. To be frank, you really have to feel for them. This is appearing to not be their week yet again. So another loss in the cards as they trail big in quarter number 4. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Throwing, Brissett. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. It's Shaq Lawson who worked his way in there to get him down.
Pardon my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front 7 today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6.
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Touchdown, L.A. Garrett Wilson, 72 yards. And the Chargers are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. From the end zone, here comes Eskridge. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. I'm just wondering, do they want to add on to this gigantic lead? My guess, given how they like to play and how explosive this offense is, Charles, that they're not content being up by this margin. They probably want more.
And if they do go and get more, oh, look out. At that point, let's just aim the camera for the post-game handshake, because that one might be a little bit on the tense side, the way that this one is turning out.
Oh, design run for their wideout. I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. A loss of 8 that time, and it brings up third down.
You want to talk about the proverbial deer in the headlights? That's exactly what he was when he got the ball. Went to hit a lane and get upfield, and all he saw, extra defenders bearing down on him. Perfect time to dial up the blitz. An excellent call.
This offense so far on third down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
Off the play fake, Winston. He's going to float this one deep right side. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And the Chargers are going to take over here up near the 40. Well, to be frank, CD, this is getting tough to watch. I mean, you feel for him, but 6 interceptions, that's at a whole new level. It's not a good level.
It makes it tougher and tougher to come up with ways to try and support him. But you have to as a team, because you can't just throw your quarterback aside. You're going to need him later on. But it reminds me of a time that a former defense coordinator of mine told me he was in a game where his quarterback threw 7 interceptions. So after the 6-1, one of the defensive players went to the quarterback and said, here's what you do. Throw the ball to the other team, and let's see if our receivers can pick it off and turn it into a complete.
Can't get away, and he's taken down. Micah Parsons able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. And this will be incomplete. Boy, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's 4th down. On is the Chargers punter now, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They're in control here as they start 1st and 10 and appearing to have righted the ship following that 2-game losing streak. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. Straight ahead is Hall. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the 1st. Play action now. Winston. Trying to lay one up deep. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
Fourth down, Winston. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. Brissett on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout that's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
19.
Brissett. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They go play action with Brissett. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked.
It was Henry Anderson who got in there to get him down.
Talk about two sides of the ball and cross purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. That front seven, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
And he is going to have the Chargers first down, and that was something else. A big pickup on 4th and long to give them a new set of downs.
And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Gonzalez good on the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away.
Here's Moore. He will return it. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
Well, they don't need to score here, that's for sure. They could just kneel it. They've got the huge lead late 4th quarter, but we'll see how they're feeling, Charles.
Yeah, we all know people out there who like to use every second of the clock, no matter what the score. And we know they don't need the points. They've scored in abundance already. Let's find out how they want to finish this ball game.
The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Green, come see. Green, come see. White.
Winston here to throw. Going up top.
And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete. Well, up big here in the 4th quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points. But they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their play.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Jair Alexander.
And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. The number 7 usually lucky here, not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go, ball on the 43. In motion left is Wilson. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Brissett, he's going to go up top again. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Brissett. He's going to try and go deep again. And this is caught. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They're looking to throw this. Winston. He's going to let it go again. This is caught inside the 15. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ballgame.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Atlanta, the win gets them back over 500 at 5-4 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take